I've said it before, but that's a weird bit of music. Hello. Welcome to the Red Flag Hour. How are we doing? Hello, Ragdoll. Hello, Chibi. How are we all? Are we well? Hello. Hello. Yes, it's time. It's that time of the week again. It always comes around very quickly. Red flag. Many red flags. There's a couple of red flags in this stream. Depends how far we get. Yeah, there's definitely going to be some what moments. So I spent most of your day working on Pokemon Trainer 47. I like the Abra. The Abra with the little dot is like suspicious. They know. Yeah. Good. We're all doing good. Right, so welcome back to the Final Fantasy VIII Drawthrough. It's a bit of a mess of a game, isn't it? And it's not going to get any cleaner anytime soon. So I hope you're alright with that. Let's pop over to the widget, or the canvas, I guess. Yeah. Actually, oh no, hang on, my setup. Cables again. Different cables this time, but still cables. Stop doing the thing. There we go. You can't see any of this. So let's get myself a pencil with a colour. Doesn't particularly matter what colour it is, as long as it's up there. And then that should give me a nice, yeah, look like radiant. Wonderful. Yeah. So last time, let's recap what happened last time. So having returned to the Space Potato, half expecting it to have been blown up by missiles, we just discovered that there was a civil war going on between... Music's a bit intense at the moment. There was a civil war going on between the Garden Master, Norg, and the Headmaster, Fly. Having kind of settled that by finding the Headmaster, we went down into the depths of the Space Potato. The lift went off at that point. We then wandered around the surprisingly large underground section. We found some oily boys. They were good. Of course, everyone would know, according to their first Pokédex entry, it can read minds and uses that to sense danger before teleporting away. Good for them. I'm going to move my mic slightly. Might make some noise. My apologies. Oh no! Oh no! Microphone noises. Oh no! This is not a professional stream. We're back. Hello. Oily boys. Oily boys are a good time. So having said hello to them, we banged on some old engineering tennis ball things, shot up into the Headmaster's office and discovered that our Space Potato can fly. It sort of flies around. Unfortunately, while it can fly, we don't know how to fly it. So we ended up just about missing Balam, the little city that's near, or the little town that's near where the Space Potato was. And we just about managed to avoid that and splashed into the sea where we coasted for a while. It was at this time that the Headmaster decided to, I guess rather sensibly, bolt and say, "You're in charge now." So we're now in charge for reasons beyond anyone's comprehension. Don't worry, he got what's coming to him because he got thrown onto the floor, apparently. So we were summoned down into the basement level to meet with Norg. Norg. Finally met Norg, the big old custard friend. Norg was in charge. Norg put up the money for the garden, so technically he owns the Space Potato and all that sort of stuff, even though he doesn't run them. He discloses a whole bunch of information. Firstly, our garden, the Space Potato, was not the one that ordered us to assassinate the sorceress. That was the Space Pancake's idea, and we just sort of got roped into it. As a consequence, Norg, who wants no real political issues here, he just wants to make money, he wants to serve our head on a platter to the sorceress just to make her happy. He also reveals that the Headmaster Fly and the sorceress TM are, or were at least, married. They're a married couple. And that the gardens were set up jointly with her for the purposes of taking down the sorceress. Which at the moment doesn't make sense, but we'll get to that. After thanking him for telling us this information, we kill him. And he turns into a cocoon, where he may be reborn as a Mumba. And the other little custard men come along, who are much friendlier. Yeah. So that happened. Meanwhile, we crash into a city in the middle of the ocean. The only city in the middle of the ocean we happened to be heading in that direction, and we crashed into it. Fortunately for us, the people who work there, or people who live there, basically made the whole thing out of scrap metal, so they're kind of used to fixing things, so they're not too bothered. And they agreed to help us fix the space potato and also try and work out how to move it. So we go and apologise to the mayor, Mayor Dabmus, I believe his name was, and his wife, who is a pacifist and doesn't like the fact that a military organisation have just crashed into his city and wants us to leave as soon as possible, which is fair enough. Final Fantasy VIII, so that happened, yeah. I'm just thinking of this stream. Dabs. Yeah. So immediately after he tells us to leave because he doesn't like conflict, he gets into conflict because the Galbadians turn up. And they turn up, apparently, looking for Dishonored Jesse. This is a character we haven't heard much about for a while. We should have, because I forgot to tell you a thing, but we'll do that today, so it's fine. But yeah, they're looking for Dishonored Jesse, and they are prepared to just literally destroy this city, whether she's here or not. So the sorceress is not really doing, she's not having any nonsense this time, that's for sure. It's Kiro. Hello, how you doing? Welcome to the recap of the nonsense that is this. Also, a tank turns up and we destroy it, but it turns out inside the tank was the missile crew team. They're all here. All of the good ones, Jive, and then the rest. So we're all back together again. It all worked out because, yeah, it just does. Yeah, how you doing, Kiro? You alright? Having a good start to the week. So, where are we now? What do you think happens now? Because I'll be very surprised if you successfully guess what actually happens now. But that's neither here nor there. So, is that? Oh wow! I made that margin of error very small. My word. Anyway, so yeah, that's what happened. So now that we're all here, we return to the space potato, which is currently being fixed, and a couple of things happen. What happens? What order am I going to say these things in? Okay, so one of the things that happens, I need to set this up in such a way that I'm not moving away from the microphone to draw. I need a better setup. I need a better microphone stand is what I need. This one is quite short and it doesn't extend above the graphics tablet. Anyway, you don't need to know these things. So one thing that happens is Jenny gets sad. That's right. This is part of where... do you remember one of the 8 prongs of the space potato was something called the quad? The quad is where people hang out. It's like the garden area. And that's where they were setting up for the big event, the garden festival. Do you remember that? Do you remember one of the first times we met Jenny was when we were at the party wearing the sombrero, and she came up to us and said, "Hey, I'm setting up a festival. Do you want to be part of it?" And she was very excited. It's a festival. And she's setting it up. Oh, it's very, very interesting. Anyway, that's all broken now, and everything's fallen over and been crushed, and over the course of the... Basically, it's all smashed. She's not happy. She's a bit upset. But she's been working on this for a while. Not that long, obviously. She's only just arrived. But look, you expect there to be any temporal consistency in this? Yeah, so like... This used to be a stage, and it's just all, bits of metal sticking off it, and broken bits of wood. It all got broke in the crash. Here's some generic lumps to simulate rubble. There's generic lumps. Okay, so she's upset. Her hair goes down when she's upset. But the only one you feel bad for. And so you should. She's a good character. She used to annoy me when I was younger because she's, you know, very overtly enthusiastic in many respects. To the point of annoyance, but she feels genuine. And not a sex offender, which I think is important in this story. We've got this happy music going on in the background for her sadness. Don't worry, it gets worse for her. Because if you remember, we saw missiles being fired before we got to the missile base. And there were multiple targets, and one of those targets was her old school, where all her friends are. So that's gonna be fun. Yes, the space cheese. We haven't been there yet. Anatomy with Crispy. Rule number 1: don't do it right. Whatever. Studying some grammar stuff for a test, which you haven't tried to think of much for like 10 years, and apparently sentences have moods. I mean, they can convey moods. Fortunately, do they also have mood swings? Have you ever watched the Hitman streams? Take any of the NPC conversations, you will have evidence that sentences have mood swings. Yeah, so this is right next to where basically the land got cut off as the space potato pulled itself up from the ground. Me, right? The good old comedian. Indicative, imperative, and subjective. Okay. Well, good for them. That's not mood. That's ivs. Tivs. Atives. No, etivs. Anyway. So fortunately for us, or fortunately for Cheery, well, only vaguely fortunately, and not Cheery, Jenny. Eddie, you did the laugh was too good. The laugh was too good. You have to embrace these things. I remember the first mission we did on the apricot farm. I thought, coming away from that, I thought there wasn't much in that, was there? There wasn't a great stream for highlight material. I just edited together some clips from it. I got 8 minutes of stuff. It's like, I can't get 8 minutes from one stream. I'm supposed to fit 4 streams in a 10-minute video. So yeah, I had to cut out a lot of apricots. Focus on the quad bike and the The apricots. Not the apricots. It's time to play Guess Who? Do I need to draw any more? Alright. So, fortunately for us, and by us I mean, I think I've already said this sentence. Somebody has an idea. Unfortunately, that somebody is Jesse McCree. And Jesse McCree's idea is, hey, Simon, you're in charge, right? Why don't you ask, just as like a little surprise, why don't you ask? Jesse McCree can have ideas. If it involves trying to impress a girl, yes. Why don't you ask those guys from the fishing place? They love fixing things, right? Why don't you ask if they can fix this? And then, you know, Jenny will be happy. And then, you know, maybe you can tell her that I came up with this idea. And, you know, maybe I'm in there. Because that's Jesse McCree. Why did you expect better? I mean, it gets worse. I completely forgot about a small detail that's going to crop up in a bit. Until today, when I was thinking through what's going to happen today. And, yeah. It's just a weird thing that happens in the game. In a sense, it's kind of... Sweet's not the right word, but just the naivety of what happens. We'll get to it. It's a very teenager-y thing. As long as it makes Jenny happy, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, it will. Don't worry. She'll have a good old time. Unfortunately, I won't. For reasons that will become apparent. So, yeah. We agree and we say, no, yeah, why not? She's been looking forward to this. She's been canvassing people for it for bloody ages. We might as well. Also, her home just got blown up, so she'll probably have something nice. So, yeah. So, what's-his-face goes off and Mr. McCree goes off and talks to the fishy people, not Innsmouth, Fisherman's Horizon, and also hi Miss, I forgot to say hello, so that they can set this all up and sort it all out and all that sort of stuff. And Jenny's happy; she's made happy by this. Meanwhile, on a thoroughly unrelated note, hello, are you having a good start to the week? We are boarded by pirates. Kind of, not really. Another ship, or I say another ship, a ship. Is ours a ship? Probably not. Boards, or not boards, comes up alongside ours. Fortunately, we have a balcony that is just at the right height. Those ancients, they planned for this. So here's just the side of the space potato. This was once a balcony, it is now a landing dock. And there's the horizon. It's mostly, well, there is a bridge that's going off into the distance for reasons which will not become apparent ever, I think. We'll work out where it goes, but not why it's there. Anyway, how does perspective work? There's the vanishing point. That should go like that. Vanishing points. If you got the parallel lines, they should go to the vanishing point. Every set of parallel lines will have its own vanishing point. Yeah, I guess not. Sorry, dealing with the tarantula in Animal Crossing. That was a roller coaster of a sentence. I was going to say, you seem to be quite calm for having to deal with the tarantula. Yes, so a ship comes. I probably should have done this before I did the horizon, because there's not really much point. It's like an actual ship. It's got sails and everything. Again, the technology level in this world is just all over the place. Actually, hang on, does this happen? Are we here for this? Oh yeah, that's a different thing. Sorry, I forgot. Yeah. Go around there, and there's like a cabin thing here. We'll come back to this, it's fine. It's kind of high-tech thing. It has sails, but it's got a high-tech. So I don't know. We'll get to it. It can pay you enough to deal with the tarantula IRL. That's fair. Right. Anyway, there's a ship. A not particularly well-drawn ship. And the people on it are bored. And they give a salute, like this. They have headbands for some reason. Probably because the designers didn't want to render eyes. That is just noodle, isn't it? And they're wearing white uniforms. Board, give them a board game. Oh yeah. Have you heard of... Can't think of a board game pun. Just noodle. Well, we've already had worm in the bag. I guess that makes sense. But there's more than one noodle that hops aboard. All aboard. Yeah, there's a couple of them. For the sake of ease, I think I've already done this trick before. This no longer has railings. This is just a big old metal sheet. Battleship. That makes sense. There we go. Why are you guys funnier than me? I'll tell you why. You're funny people and you don't have to draw. Yeah, a couple of them board, and they say, "Hey there, how's it going? We're here for Dishonored Jesse. Is Dishonored Jesse here by any chance?" Now this seems immediately suspicious. What with the fact that the Galbadians were looking for Dishonored Jesse. Everyone's looking for Dishonored Jesse. Why? I don't know. Because you have delay time to think? No, I think you're just funnier. What does everyone with Dishonored Jesse? No idea. At least not now, at the moment. Anyway. And we say, I'm sorry, can you get off our ship thing? Whatever it is we're on? How do we know you're not a problem? And they said, that's fine. We're seed. Like you. We're seed like you. Only we are white seed. They're the white seed. Yes, that is a thing in the game. Because seed wasn't bad enough. There are the white seed. And guess what? They are people who sail the seas. Thus, they can be accurately described as the white seed seamen. Welcome to Final Fantasy VIII. I have made none of that up. So. Simon understands that this isn't a thing worth really giving a damn about. Yeah, so it turns out there's a bunch of different types of seed.
No.
No. There we go. No. But it turns out that the white seed, to make things even more complicated, the white seed, and I don't know why we trust them from this point on. I think Fly might come out and give us a reason to trust them. But the white seed are the personal seed of the sorceress, TM, or the personal seed of TM. And Fly, because he's just a bag of mysteries, the old Fly. Like white seed wasn't, yeah, white seed, and they're semen. Ah. Yeah, Fly comes along and basically says, "Yeah, they're fine. Go find Dishonored Jessie. She's in the potato somewhere." What's his hair? It's got like a bowl cut kind of thing. That's not what he looks like, but you get the idea. Fly says, "Yep, you can trust them. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about handing over somebody that an army just claimed that they would burn down an entire city to find to the personal soldiers of the sorceress. It's a good time. Don't worry about it." Right. So, we go and find her. And we find her, and she's in the library. I don't think you get a clue as to why or where she is. You just have to sort of wander around for a bit. I can't remember how I drew her hair, so I think it's like that. Now Simon, being the clever clogs he is, has managed to put two and two together. Which I don't necessarily think anybody in chat has mentioned yet, because it was only something I very vaguely brushed over, and was a small part of the story because not a lot actually happened in the thing that was going on. But Simon being clever, less being clever and more being explicitly told certain things. So, yeah. Simon remembers that in one of the dreams that they had, there was a little girl, and she was called Dishy. And he manages somehow to put two and two together to get the square root of 16, and work out that that is, in fact, Dishonored Jessie, when she was young. So there's probably some sort of connection between Dishonored Jessie and the dreams that they've all been having. How was she? She had a kind of surely sort of thing. It's made a little more explicit in the game, it must be said. For a start, the girl's called Ellie in the original game, and her name is Alone, but Dishy and Dishonored Jessie doesn't quite work the same, but I tried. Which is a stretch, but so is a lot of stuff in this game. We've got, you know, we're gonna be. If I can get to where I want to get to in this stream, we're gonna be saying that a lot. How do hands work? Not the weirdest connection. Oh no. I'm hoping to get to that today. Maybe we will, maybe not. We'll see. Anyway, she's got this sort of shawl thing. Yeah, she's wearing a sort of dressy thing. Can't remember exactly what she's wearing, but she's going to be a long sort of dress. What's it? Some nice shoes. Yay, for once I zoom out and it's not absolutely awful. I mean, the hand makes no sense, but whatever. So so Simon confronts Dishonored Jessie, and says, "So I had a dream about you when you were a young kid." Just a bit of a weird opener, it must be said. Know anything about that? And she says, "Yeah, sorry. It's complicated. And I can't really remember the context of it. There's no real context that makes this make sense, but basically Simon flips out. And gets very angry that somebody's messing with his brain. This is the second emotion Simon is going to portray here in this game so far. Why does he get mad? He doesn't like people messing with his brain. He doesn't understand what's going on. He keeps getting knocked unconscious and having dreams about the past. Turns out it's the past because obviously she was a young girl back then. That's fair, but why is he mad about it now? There's a lot going on in his life at the moment. And I think it just sort of comes out. If someone messing with your brain, you'd probably be mad too. It's a thing, yeah. He basically just says, why are you doing this? Or why are you doing it to me? Why are you doing it to us? Just any explanation as to anything that is happening right now, I would be grand. Thank you. Again, which I think is an understandable response to literally everything that's just happened. He's not dealing with it properly. You know, maybe if you talk to somebody about it. Simon. I also don't think I've properly emphasized just how much he's... he likes to talk about the fact that he prefers to do things alone because, you know, you can't rely on other people and all that sort of stuff. That's the point. Yeah. We'll get one of those in a bit, I guess. So be an angsty 12-year-old, talk about your feelings. No! Angsty anime protagonist. The only way they can talk about their feelings is through soliloquy. That's not a hand. If it is, I don't know which way it's facing. Let's try this properly. That's a bit better. And his belts fly everywhere. Yeah, so he gets a bit mad. He's been on missions the entire time since this has started. Did he even have time to talk to anyone that's not a teen or a dog? Look, Jive will listen to all of your problems. They may not have the best advice, but they're a very good listener. Yeah. So Simon has a bit of a thing. What was it? Oh, that's the arm there. Okay. I remember my own thing. Oh, she had big hands. That's why we called her Dishonored Jessie. I forgot about that. Almost forgot. Almost forgot. More people should listen to Jive, then we wouldn't be in this mess. Yeet Jive at your problems. You can't do that. Right, after this, we slam ourselves down into a chair and face the wall in an angsty mood. And then the White Seed come in. There's a sentence. And usher Dishonored Jessie away. And she goes onto the ship and she sails off into the horizon. I am attempting to describe what happens in the game using the terminology of the game. It is not my fault if innuendo happens. Anywho, having ejected the White Seed, we now have to focus on the festival because that's what's being set up. But unbeknownst to us, the festival is not being set up in its normal location. No. They're setting it up in the city. What? Franz Ferdinand and Sparks, they did a good album. I recommend So Desne. Glad we got so much information out of Dishonored Jessie. She's, yeah. But we've learned at least that she is at least part of why we're having those dreams. Get rid of that. So yeah, well, that's something. That's more than we had before. The story of this game is really drip fed to you. So yeah, we go and crash out in our dormitory. We still have a dormitory. We should have like a personal living quarters as the leader of this place now, but we don't. So, and while we're crashed out there, they set up the festival stage and all that sort of stuff. I guess just outside the house of Mayor Dabmus. I don't know why he lets us do this, but we do it like right in the middle of that big solar panel array. As being said, and it's I guess I should draw it. It's like a big old thing. There's like a thing here. There's a big stage, and there's like a little one up here, and there's just sort of like weird orbs with lights on. Lights shining on it. Big old festival party. Happy festival fireworks, yeah? We'll get to that one. In a couple of years, we'll get to that one. Oh, Waka, you idiot. Mayor Dabmus has the weirdest priorities. I'm sure he's up for a party, you know. Also, while we're here, I forgot to mention, this is completely incidental. This is not part of the story. It's just a thing you can find. Hanging out just outside Medadmus's house is... Did I ever do a draw? I did do one drawing of them, I think. Let's scroll back through the archives, shall we? Just after that. Nope. Him. There we are. Is this guy? There's no point in him. Anyway, he's there. This is the military leader of the Space Pancake, the one who told us to go on the assassination attempt. Turns out, surreptitiously, well, misleadingly, he did. So he's here because it turns out he's been kicked out of his job, and the Sorceress has taken over. So now the Space Pancake belongs to the Sorceress, unsurprisingly. And he feels bad about what he did. I don't particularly know why, but he's lost everything, basically. And he's destitute, and they took him in Fisherman's Horizon, because everyone's allowed in Fisherman's Horizon. If you're willing to pick up a spanner and get fixing things, you're welcome. So yeah, things didn't go well for him, but he's not dead, so that's, you know, more than can be said for President Jimson, who is dead. He died, he got killed. In front of like 10,000 people during a festival. What a time. So yeah, there's this big weird stage, and it's got like, I'm sure there's like a big curtain thing, and there's more lights and things. It's a big old stage. And what do you do with the stage? You put on a performance. And what performance do you put on? Well, that is for you to decide. Because in order to celebrate Simon's ascendancy to leader of the Space Potato, the team, and by the team I mean largely Jenny, decide to put on a special performance just for Simon. Just a secret little thing that they're going to set up. And it's going to be the team that are going to play all the instruments. So we need to work out who's going to play what. So we have of the people who are going to be performing in this performance. Yes, this is happening. What instruments are there? There are 8 instruments we can choose from. We need 4 people to play instruments. There's Pikachu, there's Jessie McCree, there's Jenny, and there's Velma. And they all need to play an instrument. I think in the game there are like 8 instruments, and one set of 4 plays like a sort of upbeat country song, and the other set of 4 plays like a slow ballad, but you can mix and match and it'll sound horrible. It's the musical episode of the anime, yeah. So yeah, this is going on. Something to cheer everyone up, I guess. So, who's going to play what? What instruments are going to be played at this special performance? Secret special performance to celebrate Simon becoming leader. What will Pikachu play? What instruments are available? There are 8 instruments, I think. I can't remember what they are, though. There's drums, guitar, bass, piano, electric guitar, violin, flute, and tap dancing. I've just remembered there's tap dancing. Is there a recorder available? There can be. Frame Man, what are you doing? Wow, Frame Man has taken a lot of frames today. Why? What's up? Is there anything open that shouldn't be? Oh, there's that. Okay. Yeah, hopefully that helps. I can put in a recorder if you want. I don't mind. You can make a mockery of this in the game. I don't see why we can't make a mockery of it here. I already have by drawing this. There's like Mayor Dadmus's house over here. Got a weird house. Anyway, and this is we're on the Big ol' solar panel array. The big old thing. I mean, there is a form of tap dancing that is meant to be done as the one who is tap dancing sings as accompanying instrumental. Still a weird option. It is an odd option to have. Not gonna have no desire to downplay the sheer amount of talent, well, not talent, sheer amount of hard work and practice and skill that is required in order to actually tap dance and, you know, perform and sing and stuff like that. I have great respect for people who can do that. But of the 8 instruments you can use in this scene, a bit weird. One of them's tap dancing. I want Pikachu to play the recorder. We can do that. Okay, so there's Pikachu on the recorder. Let's get slightly more detail here. If I can get the MIDI for the piece of music that's supposed to play here, I'll try and make it sound like the 4 instruments you choose are playing it. I say get the MIDI, I'll work it out. What happens when you don't plan out your thing in advance? Okay, we've got Pikachu on the recorder. What about Velma? What's Velma doing? I think the default option, because I usually just mash through this sequence, to be honest. I think the default option for Velma is the tap dancing for some reason. I just remember her tap dancing. Although I think you can get anyone to do anything, so... That bit of the song sounds like a recorder. Yeah. Nope. I should just take that out of the playlist. I know it causes copyright complications. I should just take it out. I'm also very behind on my replacement schedule. By the time we get to the end of this game, I will have replaced like 6 songs. An instrument for Velma. I should also point out that this is supposed to be not just a celebratory thing, because, you know, there are more than 4 characters here who are in on this whole thing. There's Pikachu, there's Jessie McCree, there's Jenny, and there's Velma, and they're all going to be playing instruments. But Cheery's not going to be playing an instrument because she has another role. It's her role to be, you know, looking after him for the evening. Being his chaperone, I guess. But obviously, because Jessie McCree is the one organising all this, he expects, yeah, maybe a little bit more than just looking after him. There's no reason to expect that. As far as I can tell, the only interaction these characters have had so far are 2 arguments. But, you know, one of them's male, one of them's female. You never know. It's an anime. Red card, red flag, red flag. Yeah, so this is also supposed to be a romantic backdrop. So, you know, we're on the money with the recorder so far. That's what I'm saying. Boom, 1 down. Romantic tap dancing, yes. What is the most romantic instrument? It's been known. My recorder is not within reach. I'm sad. Have a kazoo though. Why do I still have a kazoo there? It's been like 2 weeks since I used that. Well, in lieu of anyone saying anything, Velma's playing the kazoo. Hurdy-gurdy? We can stick a hurdy-gurdy in there. Yes, she will attempt to seductively play the kazoo. Can McCree play the banjo? Absolutely, he can. Okay, so that just leaves Cheery. Is Cheery going to play the hurdy-gurdy? Not Cheery. I always want to call her Cheery because she's the cheerful one. Jenny. I don't want to listen to whatever these people are playing. Don't worry, I'll make it. I'll have to find a VST of a hurdy-gurdy, but I'll make it. I might do the version where they're actually playing 2 different songs at the same time. just for that extra cacophony. I shouldn't take too long on this because there's things I want to get to. Oh, we should get there. We're only halfway through the stream. Yeah, sure. Hurdy-gurdy for Jenny. Cool. What did I think? I can't remember what order they're all in, standing on these podiums. But is it podiums or podia? I guess it's probably English is podiums and Latin is podia, probably. So. Who cares about Latin? Oh, it's like kind of 5 half puns flying around my head, none of which want to be finished. Oh, that was a weird sensation. And it's like, that's appropriate music. Thank you, game. Or YouTube or whatever. There we go. Hurdy-gurdy. I need a reference for a hurdy-gurdy. Kazoo, recorder, banjo, I can do. Hurdy-gurdy? Yeah, probably not. Do you have to sit down to play a hurdy-gurdy? No, you can't. It's a very nice picture there that I can use. You know, they're kicking out a groove with a hurdy-gurdy. I mean, I can't draw a hurdy-gurdy from memory. I didn't even know they were that shape. They sort of have the guitar-y, so I guess they've got to have the sort of hollow body sort of thing. Where does that shit come from? Sort of bit, and then there's like the round drum thing. And there's the turny handle. The ace attorney handle. What? thinking about Ace Attorney is much more fun if you think of it as being Ace Attorney, like he's turning around a lot, just spinning around in the courtroom. Hey, it's the combat flute. So yeah, Jenny's happy now that she managed to get her festival all up and running and her hair's back to being pointy. She's having a good time. She gets to play a hurdy-gurdy. That's all she wanted. Play the old hurdy-gurdy. And have a good time and forget the fact that your home got blew up. Got blew up, got blown up. Got exploded. You get the idea. Jenny's one-room dream is to become a professional hurdy-gurdy player. One day she will achieve that dream. In the end credits. Makes note. Right. Right. So while this is happening, we're going on a very suddenly sprung date. What's-her-face comes and picks us up. Cheery. She's wearing a nice dress. We're wearing our normal clothes because we didn't know this was happening. And we are as impressed as you would expect. Jive is chaperone. What you said. We'll ignore the fact that I've already said that word 2 or 3 times this stream. I think she has her hair up. Does she have her hair up? No, she doesn't. I gotta turn this off because I got a copyright strike last time. Go away! Bloody Fisherman's Horizon, honestly. Yeah. So yeah, we're here. Just before the thing begins, what's his face? I still can't remember the names of the characters. I don't know what it is about this draw-through. The names are just not coming as quickly as they should. Jesse McCree tells us... oh, no. I think Cheery tells us that Jesse McCree told her to tell Simon that... I should stop saying us, it's Simon. We control all of these characters. That there'll be a special spot for the 2 of them to go to, and that we'll know where it is. Touch his nose. We'll know where it is. Is it because they're not all named Jesse? I feel like I had an easier job of it with the Noodle. Noodle Gear Solid. There were a couple that I lost in there, but for some reason this one just doesn't. Like TM, I can remember TM. Oh, you just wait, Jiv. You just wait. because we do find the place we're supposed to go. And we find how we're supposed to know that it is there, because what we find, there's a staircase that leads down to the thing. Actually, what do you think we find to indicate where we're supposed to go, and relax and listen to the music for the evening, for our celebratory "Hooray, you're the leader" party? There were just less names in Noodle Gear Solid. Were there? There was like Noodle the Boxworm, the bag. There was the one I did forget the name of was the head guy, the person whose head could come off. Really bright heart-shaped balloons? No. Sign with a winky face? No. The guy who turned out to be Nicholas Travolta. Yeah, can't remember what his name was. Anyway, that managed to demonstrate that. Maybe I didn't remember the names, but it's been a while, so. I think she's wearing one of those. Hey, here's the side of my leg dresses. Don't remember the guy's name. You also don't remember the Smexy lady's name. Smexy lady? Jive's gotta look the best. The chaperone. One lady? There were several ladies. There was, the lady whose name was a reference to the XCOM playthrough, and I can't remember that character's name either. There were several ladies, yeah. I mean, there was only one in person. Most of them were over the phone. Or the codec, I should say. Varlan? Nelav. Varlan? I think it was Varlan. Dr. Varlan, Dr. Baby, yes, that was it. That was Dr. Baby. She was the communications person. CC, yes. I don't remember what that stood for. Colonel something or other. This makes the enemy lady with the gun of the wolves. Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, I can't remember what she was called either. Well, there you go. Well, I have a playlist of videos that you can watch on YouTube. Should you so desire. If you don't know what we're talking about, there's a draw through of the Metal Gear Solid that we did And we renamed all of the people, and I can't remember any of the names, apparently. Be sure to rewatch them for the names. Anyway, we find a dirty magazine. Is that what you guessed? X. I don't really know what's in a dirty magazine. Probably like dirt, isn't it? So it's probably like a shovel. There's like XXX, so there's like Vin Diesel. Yeah. Welcome to the mind of Jesse McCree. Anyway, Cheery, to her credit, tries to cheer us up. She tries to make us sort of see, you know, hey, we're all alive. Things aren't going too well, but you know, you're the leader now, and we can have a good time. Just for tonight. Don't worry about all of the problems, all of the things, and all that. And she pushes him on to the array of solar panels and tries to get him to dance. Because if you remember, earlier on in the story, it's just sorry, just seen Jenny up in the top right-hand corner. It's not a sign of where we should go. That's just McCree having remembered he dropped his dirty mag and rolling with it. That's headcanon now. That's I'm keeping that one because it fits perfectly. Jenny's just rocking that hurdy-gurdy. So yeah, she tries to get us to dance because one of the first times we met Cheery was at a dance where she was trying to recruit the mercenaries and whatnot. We didn't know her at the time, but she made us dance. I don't think we do dance. I think Simon's just a bit grumpy about the whole situation. He's still not in a good mood. Everyone's trying to make him feel good, but he's not having it. You know, even Jive fails to succeed in making him happy, which is an indicator of just how in the dumps he is. Yeah, that's basically what happens here. I think it's hinted that there's something between the two of them as a bit of chemistry, maybe, but this is the first time we've seen it, and there's no real evidence as to why there should be, apart from the fact that the two of them are on the front cover, hugging one another. So, the usual, yes. So yeah, that happens, and then we go to bed. End of scene. Boom. So we have a dream. But not the normal dream. We have a little bit of a... Oh, I was going to say, it's not the normal dream, it's a flashback. Well, we just found out so are those. But I guess it's not explicitly said, but I'll say it now. Simon has a dream of when he was a kid. Let's very quickly draw this. And he's standing... There's like a kind of looking down sort of perspective. And he's standing in a sort of quite an old looking sort of, these are columns and everything's sort of stone, but this is grass here. It's a weird looking place. And he's having a dream when he was a kid and it's raining outside. And he's all sad. Because his big sister has gone somewhere and he feels lonely. Oh no. And he was an emo boy back then too, in his long hair. And he's saying, don't worry, little sis, I'll be fine on my own. I'll look after myself. And that's basically it. That's basically all we see. You're already at the kid flashback part of the Drawthrough. You just wait. Give Give me approximately 40 minutes. That kid is all sad. Actually, I don't think he says little sis. I think he says big sis. Either way. So yeah, that's a dream. That happens, and then he wakes up. Boom. And we've got more important things to do. So the folks at Fisherman's Horizon have done their job, and they've done a very good job at that. And they have instigated essentially a joystick system into the Space Potato so that we can control it now. Yay! We can go anywhere we want. And Jenny comes up and says, don't want to tell you what to do. Obviously, you're in charge, Mr. Leader, sir. But could we possibly go to the Space Cheese, my old school, and see if, anyone's still alive? They might need help. Can we do that, please? And we mull it over and we think, yeah, why not? So we're off to the Space Cheese, which for reasons beyond my comprehension is in the Arctic. But that's not relevant. Anyway, and we get there and it's not looking great. They've got a big old wall and it's like crumbled and cracking, and there's like big old bits of rubble sticking out like this, and there's still sort of smoke rising. There's some netting or something dangling down. It ain't looking good for the old potato. Cheese, sorry. And this doesn't make Jenny particularly happy. In fact, she's rather upset about it. Fortunately, we climb over the defensive wall that has been put in place, and we discover that there are, in fact, people still alive in there. There's actually quite a few people still alive. Not as many as there were. But, some of the kids survived, so that was good. And so Jenny spends a little bit of time helping them out and helping them with supplies. They're not in a good way. There's still an unexploded missile in there. I'm going to draw that. It's just weird. It's sort of like a little stage area with just... I seem to remember it has like a face painted on it. I don't know why. There you go. Yeah, so that's that. Anyway, she goes around and helping lots of people. We don't really see that. We're just sort of exploring around for a bit. And we go, as naturally the story will take us, to the basketball court. This place has a basketball court. It's a little bit worse for wear. Yeah, still playable, I guess. The mood whiplash sure is something. It's a thing. But you know, Jenny's helping out. She's looking after people and all that, and we've got to find something to do because we can't be bothered to help out, apparently. Look, I don't know. It's a chain link fence around this whole place. And we do a bit of mulling, because a lot's happened over the last 10 minutes. I guess everything's happened in a day or so. There's probably a large amount of time where they were fixing things up in the garden and whatnot. But we decided to come here and we have a bit of a mull. Now, I can't remember the exact sequence of events that happens here. But there's a lot of dialogue. There's a long conversation that happens in the basketball court. So I'm going to attempt to relay it as in a sensible fashion, if not precisely the way it was intended. So there's still like rubble and bits of smoke and stuff. Okay, how do I do this? So I'll just draw all the characters here. You know, it's not until we started doing this draw through and we had this soundtrack on in the background that I've realised just how heavily used several motifs are in the soundtrack. I guess you don't notice when you're playing because it's just like, oh yeah, it's that piece of music, but it's not. There's lots of pieces of music that have the same motif. It's used in various different emotive situations, and I would say that most of them sound the same. Sorry, Mr. Uematsu. So yeah, we're here and we're helping out all the people and so on and so forth. And we're trying to give all the kids confidence, and it's like, oh yeah, you know, you can get through this and you can look after people. You gotta look after people. Oh no, your teddy bear's missing. Oh, you gotta go find the teddy bear. It's probably scared and alone without you. You gotta go find him. Yeah, I remember that bit. Well, I don't remember whether or not that was your response, but I remember there are some kids that are looking for their teddy bear. Again, this is a military academy. Not sure why kids that young are there, but well, actually, I do know why. But we'll get to that. If 17-year-olds can be the head of the military academy, then 5-year-olds can be fighting in it. The life expectancy in this world is pretty low. I should probably have thought ahead as to how best to do this bit. Anyway, what do people have planned for the rest of the week? I have some drawing to do, so feel free to have a chat. Pikachu's got the basketball. This is the sporty one. How'd you draw a basketball? That. I am not the sporty one. Oops. Journaling, present wrapping, hopefully running if your jacket arrives. Ooh, stay warm. To work on some Secret Santa drawings this week. Ooh, exciting time. So you're there. This is definitely to scale, don't worry about it. These are like kids' basketball hoops. They're quite small. What are you doing for the Secret Santa, or is it secret? That makes sense. Well, because in the past I remember you've done it for like exterior groups of people with no intersection with us, so you've told us, oh, I'm working on this, and I don't know if they'll like it, and they love it, because you're good. So, who do I have to... Okay. I guess I'm kind of planning ahead for this. I've got a lot to explain in 30 minutes. There is really only one sentence that needs explaining here, but I'm going to go into the details if I can, because... These drawings are getting worse and worse. Make the brush smaller, and then you can do the detail you want to. So yeah, basically everybody's getting a little bit... I still worry about them liking it. I hope they will. I'm sure they will. Certainly if the previous ones are anything to go by, they'll love it. It'd be great. I mean, in a sense, it's good to worry about these things, because if you don't worry about it, then, you know, you might get lackadaisical with it, but you don't have to worry about it too much. If you're doing it worrying about whether the person is going to like it or not, then you're already putting in enough effort for them to like it. It's Val, you know it's Velma, it's fine. So they're all ruminating over, you know, what are they going to do next? You know, the sorceress is clearly a problem here. We should probably do something about that. Do we really have the resources to take on the sorceress, or because they have control of the Galbadian army, and the Galbadian army is the biggest army in the world? But you know, if the objective of Seed was to take down the sorceress, then you know, maybe that's something we should be thinking about. One's going to be a couple of Star Wars characters and many stars, and the other's going to be some Naruto characters during New Year's, so you're going to add fireworks. Oh, colourful, bright, and fun things, hopefully. Yeah. Marvel. Because, yeah, up until this point, we've had a pretty clear direction of what to do, because someone's either told us what to do, or we just had no other option, and we have to do this to survive. Now we actually have to make decisions. So we need to make some sort of decision. Shall we go after the sorceress? Because A, she's powerful, and B, she's the headmaster's wife? What? You know, not sure what's going on there. We'll work it out. Now, that's how bodies work. Sure. You're there. We also need Jesse McCree. He's like leaning up against a bin, I think. He's in his relaxed, you know, casual pose. What am I doing? Okay. Yeah, so that's basically what's going on at the start of this scene, is everybody's just sort of trying to work out what to do. Oh, I've just realised I've got a whole lot of other drawing to do after this. Ah! And it's in the service of absolute nonsense, so yeah, look forward to that. I hope this is at least setting the scene for what is gonna happen. Whole game's nonsense. It's yeah. I wanna do this justice. I wanna do this as much justice as it deserves. Okay, you're there. And now Jenny comes in. Because Jenny is now, she's helping people out, and she joins in the discussion of, hey, what are we going to do next? Because it's entirely possible at this point that Jenny wants to stay behind and help out with the recovery effort, because there's a lot of people who are not in a good time of it. But apparently, you know, she's had a chat with people, and apparently they think they can look after themselves at the moment. I don't know why they're not particularly scared about the concept of, you know, a follow-up attack or anything. But she kind of leads the charge in saying, you know, we should probably stop this happening to anyone else and try and, you know, get to the sorceress. We've got to take down the sorceress because she's caused enough harm as it is, for no reason, you know. Think anime villains do follow-up attacks? Well, by the sounds of it, she's more interested in trying to find Dishonored Jessie at this point. So maybe not. But... A lot of people stand with their legs slightly apart in these draw-throughs. Yeah, she's like, I vote we're going to sort it all out, because people hurt my family and the people that I grew up here, and I, you know, how do hands work? And I want to protect the people who I grew up with and all that. There's mention about people growing up with people and so on and so forth. You know, and the people from the other, from the Space Potato say something similar. You know, they tried to fire missiles at the Space Potato. You know, we grew up there. So, etc., etc. Now, this is the time when Mr. Space Pancake pipes up. Mr. Dirty Magazine. And says... yeah, I didn't really, you know, I didn't grow up in the Space Potato or in the Space Cheese, but I can see how you would all wanna, you know, look after the people that are close to you and dear to you. I grew up in an orphanage, so I'm now going to draw the orphanage. Yes, I'm coming back to what I just drew. So we can draw, there's like a little bed. Don't worry too much about the details. It's fine. Got a lot to get through. If I remember correctly, so like this. It's quite an old looking building. It's like made of stone, and there's sort of weird old looking doors. Because if you remember correctly, there was a war happening, the old Galbadia Timber War, which Jimmy was fighting. He was running away from and chatting up cocktail bar pianists. You know what I mean. Anyway, so there was this war going on, and there were a lot of children who were dislocated, if you'll pardon the expression, and they needed somewhere to be brunged up proper, and so orphanages sort of sprang up to look after the children. Another door here. Suddenly, it's the Citadel of Chaos again. There's like a nice window, and there's the sea, and there's like a little lighthouse. Path leading up to it. Okay. Stage is set. I think there's a door here as well. I vaguely remember this scene. And the rough architecture therein. It's an orphanage. There are a lot of kids running around and they've got to go in and outdoors. It's the only way you can, keep them from getting bored. So yeah, Jesse McCree grew up in an orphanage. And he remembers his time at the orphanage, and he remembers the people who he grew up with. So I'll draw a young Jesse McCree. Got like a bucket on his head. They're by the beach, so it's probably got like a bucket and spade. He's holding it like a gun. Yay, battle flute. Really need to make more music. Justin McCree was a binhead from day one, absolutely. And he found this old cowboy suit in a cupboard somewhere. Which is a bit too long for him. So yeah, and he's just reminiscing about his time in the orphanage with his friends, who all, they all went off to different places once they grew up to be old enough. But he remembers them fondly in the same way that everybody remembers the people that they were with in the garden. So let's draw some other kids. Here's a pouty one. Did you draw a kid face? Kids are weird. I had to draw kids recently for a thing. They've got weird proportions. Those proportions change over time. Don't like it. It's weird. Draw another one. Let's draw an excitable one. There's chest out. Yeah, like this. Yeah. Happy times! Dungarees. Wearing like sandals or something. Yeah, does anyone understand how kids work? I don't. I barely understand how adults work. I've got to try and draw a kid. I don't know. They've got big foreheads, as I seem to remember. All their features are quite low down. Generic, excited child. Very generic. Nothing. Yes. That's cool. There's got to be a couple of kids fighting as well. There's always kids fighting, aren't there? Let's do that. Not really saying a lot, so the copyright bots are probably going to get me. Completely generic fighting children, yep. The generic haircut, yeah. What is this? The Orphanage of Block Convenience? No, it's just an orphanage. Kids have like chubby fingers, right? Nope. All right. My colour's changed. That's better. Tiny vest? I don't know. Like a little waistcoat. So yeah, as you may possibly have managed to ascertain at this point, bloody everyone was at the same orphanage together. There was Kyle, there was Pikachu, there was Jenny, there was Simon, there was Jesse McCree. I always have trouble with Jesse McCree, even though he's the only Jesse. There was also don't quite know how this one's going to work, but maybe because he's the only Jesse, possibly. There was bossy old Velma. Always being bossy, she was. Kids wear t-shirts, right? Gonna have a skirt. Why not? Now, while he's talking about this, literally none of the other characters have any idea what he's talking about. They have vague recollections, maybe, of like an orphanage or something like that, on kind of a little bit of flashbacks, but like, really? Have we been traveling around together and we haven't thought about this? That we grew up together in the same orphanage? Kids wear t-shirts and shorts if male or skirts if female. There we go. Solve the problem. Cheery's not here, by the way. So it's not a coincidence because Cheery's not here. Yeah, see? You're right for the end. Hello, welcome to the orphanage. But there's one more bit of plot contrivance to explain. It is surmised that still the orphanage of plot. There's one more thing. We'll get to that. It's a bit where they all remember they grew up together. Yes, but why did they forget? How could they possibly have forgotten that they all grew up together? What an incredible! They should have known that. Turns out. Trains? No. Pokemon. Turns out all the Pokemon that you've been collecting over the course of this game, you junction them to yourselves. That's your way of sort of equipping them, as it were. Turns out that messes with your brain. And the reason that Jesse McCree remembers all this is because he only recently joined our group, only recently got a Pokemon, and as a consequence, his memory is more intact than everyone else. And he thought it was a bit strange that nobody recognized him, thought it was a bit weird that nobody was, bouncing off of his cheeky callbacks and things that he was talking about from his childhood. So he just sort of ran with it, trying to work out what it was that made everybody forget. Definitely wasn't looking forward to this. But there's one more thing, because who ran the orphanage? You might not even know after I've drawn it because of reasons, but somebody must have run the orphanage, right? Has to be an adult here. You might not necessarily. Yeah. It's a lady with very long, dark, purpley hair. Jessie Roth? It's not Jessie Roth, no. With that hair, it's pretty close, yeah. It's like sort of... She's standing on a rock, don't worry about it, there's the rock. Which females do we know? Let's see if you can get it, come on. Anyways, thought there's anything is that adults aren't needed to raise kids. Yeah. Seem to be doing well on their own. We have the No Piano Lady. Dishonored Jesse's mum. Dishonored Jesse's mum? Oh yeah, yeah. What was that name? Was that James? Did we call her James or something? No, we called her... Oh, the Jessica. I think we should call her Jessica. It's Jessica, I think. Jessica, well, you haven't got it so far. That's it, you think? No, there's one more. There you go. It's TM. So yeah, it turns out that the vast majority of your party all grew up in the same orphanage under the tutelage of TM. Orphanage of Plot Convenience.
Of Plot Convenience.
And everybody forgot it, and TM went on to turn into a sorceress who wants to take over the world. There's also one more person who used to be here, because if you remember correctly, we had a little bit of a flashback to poor old sad young Simon, being sad that he lost his big sister went away. Oh no, his big sister went away. Who was the big sister that went away? Is there another female character we know? There's someone else who grew up in the thing who might actually know what's going on but hasn't told us? Big sister? Who's the big sister? Think big. Big is an appropriate word. Dishonored Jessie, yes. So it turns out Dishonored Jessie was also at the orphanage, and she was the used to look after Simon, and then she went away for reasons undisclosed. So Simon just found his big sister, and then she went away. Oh no, he lost her again. Ah, terrible timing. Yeah, so that happened, and everybody's just standing around like, what? What just happened? How did we forget this? What? Pokemon erasing our memories? What's happening? He's supposed to feel tired after a reveal. It's, yeah. Couple of things come out of this. One, and this one, I promise the game does a better job of explaining this than I'm about to. But, and I'm not really explaining, but like, giving an indication. There's more that goes on here, and I can't really go into details because I forget most of it. But and this is weird, the Velma's behavior, closeness to Simon, how can I explain this? She reasons that that's essentially because it was largely like she had weird groupies at the school, but she largely focused her attention on Simon. She reasoned that was, you know, she was the sort of de facto in charge. I'm the bossy one here. I'm going to tell you what to do, and so on and so forth. That's why she became a teacher. No offense to teachers, obviously, you're not like that, but you know, it's a badly written story. That there has to be an excuse. And she reasons that the closeness she felt towards him was essentially remnants of a familial closeness, and that's why she immediately stopped being interested in him as soon as Cheery came along, and there seemed to be chemistry between him and Cheery, and she just stopped caring, apparently. And she was like, oh, that makes sense. This was never love after all. This was just, you know, familial closeness. Don't know why she didn't feel like that way about Pikachu or whatever. I don't know. Like I say, I'm not doing a particularly good explanation of this, but there is something in the game that does express the weird, that does explain to some extent the weird closeness of Velma to Simon early on in the game. According to you, so that makes it even more gross. It's, yeah, she's confused. She's still a teenager, remember that. She doesn't know either. No one knows anything. Now, Cheery is not in this conversation. She's here, but she's not. You know, no more than Leia and Luke kissing. Yeah, exactly. So, you understand how I flirted because of familiar closeness is worse. She didn't know. And this is the end of the flirtation bit. That's why I drew her with this expression, by the way. They've all got issues. Now, having now remembered that TM was the person who looked after them when they were children, having been orphaned through warfare, and helped them grow and become the people that they are today. They thus reason that the next step in their plan is to kill TM. Their reasoning being, well, we're not going to explain any of this, and we're not going to work out what exactly is happening, so, you know, we might as well carry on doing what we're doing. There's this entire scene about them recollecting their past and remembering that TM was actually, she's the person, she looked after us, and she was, she's Headmaster Fly's wife, there's something going on here, we should work it out. And then at the end of it, their conclusion is, we should probably kill her. And it's just like, I only really properly paid attention to this conversation on my last playthrough, like last year, and just that transformation of conversation. It's just, what are you talking about? But they reason it's like, that's the best thing that we can do at the moment because we just don't know. We don't know enough to do anything else. It's like, we'll find out then. Are you trying for? Have you considered asking Fly? No, we're just gonna go and kill her. I don't know. This game could be fixed with a very hefty dialogue patch, but the leap of logic is something. It is, yeah. It's at this point snow starts falling, because you want it to feel like there's some sort of emotional thing going on. You add freak weather. And I think Cheery and Simon have a moment. But honestly, I just wanted to get through the point that, yeah, it turns out, coincidentally, they all grew up in the same orphanage, they all have the same backstory, and they forgot it because they equipped Pokemon. That's the twist. That's the big twist of the game. Hope it was satisfying. You often buy war, so the solution is to just keep doing more. Yeah. I also like how... Well, we'll talk about that at the end of the game. There's a theme in this game about finding your identity and making your own decisions, and it absolutely falls on its face. And this is one of the examples. It's like, we're going to make our own decision. Let's kill the person who brought us up. There's still more twists. There are many more twists to come. Don't you worry about it. But this is the big character backstory twist. This is arguably not the weirdest one. I mean, arguably. I feel like it's pretty. The Orphanage of Plot Convenience broke you, as it should. It broke me as a kid. This is one of the main reasons I wanted to do this as a draw through, just to get it off my chest. The catharsis of this is terrible writing. People say this game has a good story. Yeah, and with that, we ready ourselves up for warfare. Has time nonsense been mentioned yet? Not yet. We have ascertained that we are having flashbacks to the past via Dishonored Jessie. Dishonored Jessie is the one giving us the weird dreams to the past. No other time nonsense has been mentioned. We'll get there. Because I think the time nonsense is probably, arguably, the saving grace in a sense. In a weird way. You can make it the saving. I don't think the game makes it, but I can. Anyway, we'll get to that. There's always more to get to. It literally, I promise you, the last time I can stop saying there's still more weird things to come just before the last drawing for the end credits. It keeps going. This game keeps going. So yeah. I think you can do a better job. I wanted to do a podcast, I've mentioned this before, about taking something which is good but not perfect and trying to work out how you can best change it with one change, and just having it like a discussion thing. It's like, oh, maybe if we change this, we can change this, so on and so forth. Be a fun little podcast idea. And this is the game that made me think that, because there are so many things that you can change about this. It's like, what one would be best? And that's definitely one there. It's like, just give the characters a better backstory than that. You don't know the ending, but you feel confident enough to say that. I think you do feel confident enough to say that, because I don't think anything... How can I express this? The plot develops from this point on to basically very little of the things that have happened up to this point mattering ever again. It's, yeah. Change the entire plot, that's one change. It's not really that. But there is one change I do want to make, and we'll get to that eventually. Yeah. This game's weird. So we found the Orphanage of Plot Convenience. Oh, that's... No. Really? Come to think of it, I might have done some story elements in the wrong order. They're not story elements. They might have done certain things that you have to do in the wrong order, but that's fine. That's fine. We're gonna... Yeah. There was something we were supposed to do before this. It's not a big deal. There's no actual connection between this and the thing that we were supposed to do. So we'll do it next time. To change the subject slightly, you're looking at the fancy Dune RPG book and is going to be spending quite a bit, you feel. Dune, I hear Dune's a weird world. All I know about Dune is the synopsis of the Dune board game, and that's it. But that's enough for me to know that it's weird. One of my favorite things I know about it is laser shield plus laser gun equals boom. I know that. That's quite a fun thing. And there's sandworms. A lot of political intrigue and stuff. Anyway, I don't know anything about Dune. Sorry, the other thing I know about Dune is that the book is a mission. You're listening to the audiobooks and you adore the sheer insanity of it all. Marvellous. Yeah. So... yeah. Okay, I've just remembered something else that happens later on in this story, and I have a new favourite story plot point to be heading towards. Now this one's done, I've got a new target. The new one that I can try and express in the best possible way, which is as accurately as possible, so that I can go, isn't that stupid? I took a screenshot of that one. I still have it on my computer. Anyway, yeah, read the books too, the good ones by the actual author. There are more? Did he license it out or something? Anyway, Final Fantasy VIII is weird. The plot is only going to get stranger. Wonder how tired you'll all feel after the next reveal. What is the next reveal? There's a little light levity that we're going to do before the next reveal, I think. Actually, do you know what? Next time, let's do fun stuff. We now have the capacity to go around the world and visit things, so I think we should go and do some fun things. Yeah, let's do that. And then we can carry on with the bizarre nonsense plot. Yeah. There's ones by him, and then his son took over, and they're bad because he was just trying to milk it for money. Well, let's do some fun things. Yeah, we can see some Tomberries. Let's do that. And get some more Pokemon, because they're not bad for your health. Yeah. Also an octahedron. So yeah, anyway, thank you for coming along. Doink! Doink. Thank you for coming to... this bit. Do we lamp? If you want a lamp. You will have to have the vote in chat. Yeah, so there probably won't be a reveal. Will there be a reveal? There might be a reveal. Yeah, there'll be a reveal. Why not? Just a small one. Not a big... tell you what, I'll put it this way. There will be a reveal, but rather than it being a reveal that will make Chibi feel deflated, it will be a reveal that will make Chibi go, yeah! Like that. That's my tease. For next time. So, thank you for coming to the stream. We'll tomorrow, we're carrying on with the Hitmans. With... where is it? There it is. We're going to do the last level again. For those who are not aware, we did a stream on Sunday. We did the last level, and it was weird. It's a weird level. But, you know, you are intrigued. Ah, damn. Pokemon Trainer 47, yeah. If people haven't seen Chibi's drawing, it's in the Discord. So, yeah. We're going back to Hokkaido, and we're gonna make a surgeon angry. That's my plan. That man's face looks different. It's fine. It always look like that. So yeah, thank you for coming along. Thank you, everybody. I hope you enjoyed just the nonsense of this part of the story. There will be more nonsense to come. Don't worry. Next time might be a little more sensible. Well, it's gonna be more Final Fantasy anyway. Have a wonderful time, everybody. Let's find some good music to end on. Is that a good song? Yeah, that'll do. Why not? Yeah. Thanks for coming. Have a wonderful time. Enjoy yourself. Have a good week. Look after yourselves. Stay warm. Drink some hot chocolate or something. It's nice. I recommend it. Yeah. Final Fantasy VIII. So that happened. Oh, I can say that so many times in this. Have a wonderful time. Goodbye.